No. Hi, everybody. It's episode 64, making it up as we go. Welcome. Only a few more weeks of dealing with the whistling thing. All right. Awesome. Let me bring my two Pauls in. We got Mr. Paul Corliss.
Howdy.
We got Paul Hammerquist.
Hello.
How you guys doing?
Good, doing well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. Oh man, what a day. So I'm ready to about throw these things out the window right now. So I've been trying, I have a USB-C connector here for power to power the lights. And it goes from here into a switch and switch to the lights. I had this cord was trying to get power from it, not getting power. They won't light up. So right before the show was starting, I ran upstairs and grabbed another one, a different one. Same thing. I don't know what's going on, but I can't get these stupid things to power up. I have my meter down here, and I'm trying to get to see that it's getting voltage out of these things. I'm not getting anything, so I don't know if I just got a batch of bad ones or what. I have no idea at this point, but I'm kind of irritated with it. So whatever. Anyway, how's everybody? It's good times. Yes. Mr. Corliss, did you get a chance to work on anything this week? I know you've been pretty busy.
No, I didn't get anything done, and I relinquished my time to the other Paul to show off his great achievements.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, we'll start small.
Okay.
We'll start small.
I'm gonna relinquish my time as well.
So just got some little Halloween pumpkins here. The legs kind of fold down and got 3 different designs. So making these so the girls can give them out at school and we can give them to trick-or-treaters.
Awesome. Is that all one print or is that multiple prints?
It's multiple prints. So I do the green and then the orange.
Oh, okay, cool.
So here's all the legs. The first batch. We'll go back to this one. All right. Now we'll go to another Halloween. And
oh, wow.
This is for my daughter. This is Demon Slayer. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It's some Japanese anime, and it's a fox.
A fox?
That's all I know. So, but
okay.
Yeah. Hey, it's anime. It's actually a kintsu. I totally messed up that name. I know, but it's we still have to print the eyes and this scar right here. But on the eyes, we're going to get that mesh.
Yeah.
You do the mesh inside the print. So that'll be one of my first times doing that. But she's going to sand it up and paint it all up. But that's going to be a fun one. Get to work on that with her. And then it's finally finished.
Oh, wow.
Cool. That is really cool.
So
sweet.
I don't know. How long ago did I show this to y'all?
It's been probably a month or so. Man, that turned out great.
So a lot of dry brushing, several layers, then a wash, and the wash sucked. So had to go back and redo all the dry brushing. And then finished it off with the clear coat. But
wow,
so sad it doesn't fit. But now I got to make a mount for the wall. All right, and now I have to back up a little
Oh,
for the big one.
Drum roll, please. Oh, that's nice.
that is huge. That's is that Sauron's thing?
Sauron's mace, yeah.
You could do some serious damage with that thing.
You know, this bottom part, this is heavy. I need to weigh it, but this is almost solid infill.
Wow.
So, but I mean, you could just use this as a real weapon and just hit somebody on the head.
Yeah, that would do some damage.
Dennis wants to know if you sell those things.
Yeah.
No, I do not sell other people's intellectual property.
But he
but
might
yeah.
give it away for an exchange of something.
But this one, I'm going to do that. Have you guys heard of Rub and Buff?
Yeah.
So I'm going to do Rub and Buff on this one. Try it out. So,
Sweet.
but yeah, let's see. I'm really happy with how, I don't know if I can, let me see. I may need to go to the other one.
White's so hard to see.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. That detail in there.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Now you can see it.
Nice.
Wow.
And that's like all up and down all of this.
Wow.
So you rub in a dark color and then buff it out, do you? Is that how?
Yeah. So you sand, prime, sand, spray paint it black, and then you rub this. It's like an oil. You rub it on. You just use real little, rub it on, and then kind of rub it off to give it a distressed look or an antiqued look.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool. That's going to look really awesome when you're done.
Yeah. Now to find a place to put it. 46 inches tall and 22 pieces.
Now, how long did it take to print all that?
I think about 3 days, 3 or 4 days.
And how many kilos of filament is it?
74.
It was about 2.5, 3 spools.
Wow.
So, but I planned it out. So I made sure everything was going to finish printing by the time I would go to bed, and then finish printing when I woke up. So it was just come in, take it off, start a new one.
Nice. Nice. Very cool. Let's see here. Rob is saying he got a Google Pixel phone and had to buy a USB-C cable that was marked as suitable for charging. I hear you, Rob. The white one that I stole from my kid is the one that he charges his Oculus with. So I know that one puts out voltage, and this one I use on my. I have a external hard drive that is powered and it lights it up. So I don't know. I'm starting to think that those my little bag of ends is garbage.
Other thing, are both of those cords you tried C to C?
Yeah.
Try what is it, A or B to C?
Yeah. Okay. I'll see if I have one.
That may, who knows? Maybe those are set for that.
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of irritating. What else we got here? Wade says that he saw a $600 filament extruder allows you to recycle your failed prints and poop. Yeah, well, $600 for one isn't too bad. That's pretty inexpensive. I've seen some of them that are like $1,200 or $1,500. But 600 is not bad. But still, that would have to make a lot of filament to pay for itself. Yeah.
Well, the problem is when you have your bigger fails, getting that ground down.
Yeah.
So you can melt it again.
Yeah. Yeah. So
because those machines cost 10,000.
Wade says you're one nasty Klingon.
I need to do a life-size bath lift. That's what I need to do.
Printed all the stuff to build a dome one. There are 40 plus pieces of each, and big ones took 11 hours. Wow. Whew. Keep him busy. Yeah, keep him busy.
He said it was. Wade said it was actually grinding it down.
Wow. Fun stuff. Oh man, well at least somebody was busy making toys this week. I was on a roof for a couple days. Multiple days this week, and stuff. So and running around. Christmas light season's kicking off pretty early this year. Getting lots of calls and stuff already. So it didn't have time really to get anything done until I was screwing around with this last night, and I'm still broken on them. So I got to figure that out. Anyway, I do have something that I want to pick your all's brain about. Two things. One, first thing I want to talk about is Facebook Marketplace sellers. Everybody knows I love a good Facebook Marketplace deal. And I've gotten some great things off Facebook Marketplace for nothing that people are just getting rid of, like the scoreboard. That is still in the garage, and I have all the printed pieces sitting over here still. Yes, I know. It needs to get.
Oh,
done.
you have a scoreboard?
I do. I do have a scoreboard.
How have we not heard about this, Ryan?
Much to the chagrin of my wife. But some other stuff. Oh, I got a golf cart one time for nothing on Facebook Marketplace. Sometimes it's being in the right place at the right time, being on Facebook Marketplace at the right time. Anyway, so I was on there on Thursday. I think it was Thursday evening, and saw an arcade machine. Like one of those arcade 1-up machines. Somebody was giving one away. It wasn't like it was one of the popular ones though. It's one of the ones that they had to put like 15 games on because nobody plays those games, and they just wanted to put out a cabinet that had a whole bunch of games on it that they wanted to do. Anyway, I sent the guy a message and I said, "Hey, when can I come pick it up?" And I didn't even ask if it worked. I didn't care, because my thought was my son, that he plays guitar, and the place that he gets lessons at, they have a couple of arcade 1-ups there. And they have the Pac-Man and the Miss Pac-Man one. And the Miss Pac-Man one's broken. So they only have one that the kids show up there for their lessons and all that. And they go and they play video games for a little while before they, go back and practice. And so when I saw this one that this dude was giving away, my first thought was, "Oh, I get it. If it needs to be fixed, I'll fix whatever needs to be fixed on it, and then I'll give it to the music folks." And I sent a message to the guy and said, "When can I come get it?" And he was like, "Tomorrow night after 7." I said, "Great. I'm on it." And then I said, "By the way, it doesn't really matter, but does it function at all?" And he's like, "Yeah, it works fine." I was like, "All right, well, cool, sweet. I don't have to fix anything with it. I'll just, get it and clean it up and take it down there." And so I start looking at my phone on Friday, and while I'm sitting at the music lessons, because my son and I were going to leave right after his lesson to go down there and pick this thing up, and I see in the messages that the guy sent me, all of a sudden some things have changed. The description has changed, and blah blah blah. Now he wants $200 for this thing, and I'm like, this jackass didn't even have the even say anything to me about it. Like, okay, I get it. You wanted you're obviously you've given it. You're saying that you're giving it away. So you're getting messages from people saying, "Hey, I'll take it." And so I sent him a message, and I was like, "So I guess our deal has changed because you're of what you've updated your posting with." And he's like, "Yeah, I've got 122 messages about that thing, and I see that it brand new. They were like $400." Well, not the one that you have. That's a bunch of games that nobody really plays, but whatever. I was like, whatever, man. I was giving it to a music school. Have a good one. Good luck. Some bitch is still for sale right now. Yeah, he had 122 messages because he was giving it away, and people were like, "Yeah, sure." But of course now he got greedy on it, and then nobody wants to buy it for $200. So it was so irritating. Like, if you're going to put something up on for sale or for giving it away, then just, you're right. If it would have been me and I put something up on there to give away and I got 122 messages for it, hey, first dude that got a hold of me was getting something that was worth some money. I didn't care. I just wanted it out of my house. Or I'm going to send the guy a message and say, "Hey, there seems to be an awful lot of interest on this thing. I'm going to list it for sale for the next week or so. If nobody bites it, I'll give it to you." Something like that. It would but the guy didn't even say anything to me about it. Just really irked me. So I made sure that feedback was given. I mean, it was just kind of a shitty move to do that. Like, just tell or say something about it. Like, he was just not even going to say anything. But whatever. It irritated the crap out of me.
That's one of the issues with Facebook Marketplace when you're going through how many listings that say free.
Yeah.
And then you click on them and then it says, "Oh, it's not free."
Yeah.
And then they try to justify it by going, "Well, I have 3 different items," and and then they list it in there. And it's like, no. And then we were looking for a hutch and like dining room table and stuff. And I remember this one listing, it said $50 and it showed the table, 4 chairs. I was like, awesome. And it said dining room set, $50.
Yeah.
No, it was $400.
Well,
they wanted $50 for each chair and $200 for the table.
Oh, what a
people are asshats, man. They really. You know what I would have done? I would have gone and paid $50 to buy one chair and screw up their whole set. Here you go. Good luck selling the rest, dipshits. Oh, people are just stupid. Just made me insanely irritated.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if y'all have it in your area, but I look at 3D printers as well, just to kind of see what's out there, maybe can find a deal.
Yeah. How
does someone have 30 P1Ss or X1Cs, and selling them for, what was it, 500? And I'm just like, did you find a semi truck on the side of the road? Like,
how did that happen?
And then a bunch of other, they had some X1Cs and some other stuff. And I'm just like, and it's a warehouse. It's not a business.
Yeah.
When you look at I'm staying away from those people too.
Yeah. There's some shady shit going on out there. Ugh. But the other day I sent you the picture of the I sent Paul a picture because he's only got the one P1S. He doesn't have enough printers at his house right now, so he needs more. And so I happened to see that there was a Bamboo Lab X1C for sale nearby to him, and I let him know. Mr. Corliss contacted the guy.
I did.
Did
That
you hear
was
about
that
this?
was
Did you
No.
a
know
great
that?
deal.
Oh, so tell Paul the story on this one, Paul.
Well, I got a hold of him, and he said that the MFS didn't or EFS didn't work. The
AMS.
AM, yeah, the AMFS. Anyway,
AM.
it didn't work. And I said, "Well, what's the matter with it?" And he says, "Well, this and that," and he never was very clear. And I said, "Well, how much use has this had?" He says, "Oh, I've only used it for about 20 prints." He says, "It's new." And I said, "If it's new, why don't you get the thing fixed or replaced under warranty?" Well, he gave me a song and dance, this, and this. After I chatted with him a while, it got to the point where he says, if I gave him half the money, he would send it to me. And if I wasn't satisfied, I didn't have to pay the rest of the money. And I said, "Well," I said, and he was going to pay the shipping. And I says, "Yeah, let me think about it. And I'll get back to you." Well, tonight I went online and I was just going to ask him if he ever sold it. He's gone. The listing's gone. He's gone. Can't connect. The whole works.
Jeez. Wow. Yeah, it's craziness sometimes. But I should get onto the Facebook group there and see if that post is even still up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, because that's where I saw it at, was in the one Facebook group. No. All right. Well, while I'm at it, I've got something else I'm a little salty about, and it made me salty today. So I'm not going to bring up any specific YouTube people that have done this, but there was a video that came out today, and I watched it, and sponsorships of some of the stuff that happens on the channels, right? So this channel, really trying to be vague, they had hey, this episode is sponsored by insert name of corporation here, whatever, that has nothing to do with what their channel is. But then the video was about a product for their shop, right? And they made it really they made it a point to say, this video is not sponsored by this company, but we contacted them and then they sent us this stuff. To me, that's a sponsored video. Like, that's not, they're just sending you product or something like that. And like, you know, they sent us this stuff and we're going to do a video on it, but it's not sponsored by these people. Yes, it is. Like, you're doing a product demonstration, all that, and all that. Like with the Monport or the P1S and stuff like that. If Bamboo had sent me that printer, that would have been a sponsored video by them, even though they didn't pay me to do it. Like, in my opinion, it just irritates the crap out of me. Wait, I can't answer that question. but like, if you're gonna take a product from somebody, it is influenced, like, from what your opinion is going to be on it, and I mean, that's part of the game, I guess. But still, it was really, like, irritating the crap out of me, because you hear it all the time. You know, oh, hey, no money changed hands for this, but they sent this thing to me. Well, okay, well, that's because they want you to talk about it and have a positive outcome with the product. They're not doing it. If it really didn't matter, then just go buy it. Like if it, I don't know. It was
if I can jump in on that, because I do sponsored videos, or have really kind of stepped back from it. But when I'm dealing with someone or a company, you want to send it to me? Cool. You have no say in the video.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like I get to say what I want. Be careful you read your contracts.
Oh yeah. But
there was
really,
some fine print I missed. And so there has been a certain video I have not done.
Oh, interesting.
It's been hot in the garage.
Let's see. What could that be then? That's
I got a new broom. It was a broom.
Yeah.
But I know it is a balancing act, because you can't sit there and buy every single printer that comes out. You can't sit there and buy everything. Well, some people can.
But if it's a product that you want to use anyway, like if I wanted Toshiba to sponsor or to put a TV up on this back wall, and they decided to send it to me, I'm going to say, hey, Toshiba sent me this awesome ass TV. But if they wouldn't send me that TV, I'm still going to buy the TV. It's all just kind of irritating me about how people are trying to think that they're not being sponsored by these companies when they are, which is fine.
I also wonder if this has anything to do with some of the new YouTube features. So, YouTube is experimenting with, how you can skip the ad.
Yeah.
Like after X amount of seconds. Well, now they're experimenting with, would you like to skip this sponsor spot? So maybe that was a test.
No, because I see people do that all the time.
Okay, yeah. I'm just saying, I wonder if we'll see it more, in a way to fool the AI to get around all that.
Well, if that would have been the case, there wouldn't have been a video except for the sponsorship spot that they did for whatever it was. I don't know. What are the big ones right now? You got Better Health. You got the Squarespace, PCB Way. Factor. I see a lot. There's like 5 or 6 of them that are ridiculous. It's like I'm watching a car video. Like, don't talk to me about food. I don't know. It's irritating. But anyway, yeah. So
Cody makes a good point, because when the other, I watch LTT, Linus Tech Tips, a lot, and they just get stuff sent to them, whether it was communication or not, or any kind of agreement. So I don't know. I've also started watching videos at 1.5, 1.75 the speed. So just so I can, when I hear what I want to pick up on, then I slow it down. Otherwise, I'm kind of skipping over a lot of the stuff I don't really care about.
There's more commercials on YouTube than there is on television.
Oh yeah. Well, Cody, it was. I'm just talking in general. You see this a lot, and it's. I don't know. Maybe they didn't even say anything about if there was an expectation for a video or anything in this particular one that I'm talking about, but it's. In my opinion, probably was, because it was like a full installation video on here's step 1, here's step 2. It wasn't, hey, I got this thing. Look how cool it is. But I don't know. But anyway, yeah. So it just I've seen that a lot lately. Well, in general, I guess, but I don't know. And then some of these videos now have like 2 or 3 of these sponsorship things in the middle of it. And it's like, holy crap. Like, I love Rich Rebuilds. Rich Rebuilds does like car stuff, and he builds cars and stuff like that. Funny dude. I really enjoy him. I especially I like watching his ad spots because they're funny, especially like his Squarespace ones that he does, because he comes up with a domain name that's like a full sentence and a half long. Nobody wants your Tesla because it's a piece of crap and won't charge on this network, blah 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 blah, .com. So they're pretty funny, but still they, he's been putting like 2 or 3, like there's a Squarespace one, there's this one, and it's like, man, like, come on, I get it. I mean, you guys got to get paid, but it didn't. You get it gets tiring with all of it, but anyway, yeah. Anyway, if you, I don't know, it's something I really don't ever have to worry about. I mean, I talk about Cody stuff all the time. Cody doesn't sponsor me, but I love that boy. No. By the way, yeah. Oh, you get your Jenny bits.
And they're American made.
They are. And if our buddy Hamilton, if you want to go over and see all that stuff, I do that for fun. These guys don't owe me anything, and I don't even get a referral code from these guys. So I really I don't want one. Well, it'd be nice to know if people are going there from here, but that's not the point to it. The point is these are people that I like working with. And I believe that they should get people's business. So, but anyway,
it's like the Pixel CNC software. Mm-hmm. Now I have an affiliate link, but I earn no money.
Yeah,
off of that.
Yep.
It's just more so I can see how many. Yeah, and for every 5 copies, they agreed to give away a copy.
Sweet.
So we're at 3. Cool. Two more of y'all.
There you go. Good times. Trying to think. Well, let's. I mean, we've been yapping for almost 40 minutes about non-video stuff this week. So let's get moving here, and we'll start. We'll get through everything this week. Let's start with our AriBox. So we've talked about this guy a couple times in the past, because he was doing the injection molding with the sealant for the wheels for his cabinet or something like that. Yep. He's back at it again. Made a drill powered go-kart or trike, I guess, really. And it's all CNC cut out and all that good stuff. And he did the sealant for the tires and all that cool stuff. Pretty cool. The amount of thought and all that goes into this is pretty fun. But the kid was riding around on it and had a good time. Pretty neat. Fun to watch.
Now they just need to make an adult version.
Yeah, right? I might need an extra drill or 3 to get moving. That would be kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on here. I got something I want to talk about at the end before we sign off of here, but I'll just have to remember that. Functional Print Friday. Dude, this one, I was excited for this one because a couple months, like maybe a month ago or so, we were talking about one of his videos that he did. He was doing I think we talked about it, but anyway, he made some kind of handle for like I don't know, it was a knob. It was a lever for a knob that was on a machine that he had. And it's kind of pain in the butt to turn it by hand. So he 3D printed this wrench for it. And then at the end of it, he goes into a closet. The lights kind of flicker or whatever, and he comes out and it's got really coolness. Like there's something lasered onto the 3D print. And so this is the video where he actually goes over what it is. So what the project that he did, these things that are in the thumbnail are actually they're caps for 6x6 posts. So I guess he helped a friend out doing putting up pull-up bars, and so he made some caps to go over the end to help preserve the wood longer. And so he lasered on the 3D print the I guess the guy's logo and some worn American flags. Pretty cool. He did it with a Monport MOPA laser, and which is pretty neat. I mean, it's really cool that you can do that to 3D prints. In like, it's something I'd love to try at some point. I'll have to maybe we can get. I don't know if JR has a 3D printer right now or not. I know he's got the laser, but like just I'd like to see some more prints with this, like to see if, because I guess what it does is with the MOPA laser, it's actually vaporizing the filament coloring, the dye or something like that, and that's why it's kind of that yellowish color. But I'd like to see other colors done and see if it has any other different effects other than black. But what a cool way to make your 3D printed products like stand out by being able to put, the wrench that he had some like crazy intricate designs on it and stuff like that. And a great way to make it stand out. Especially if you're like selling a product like that, would be sweet. And
speed it up. Because if you tried to do any of that,
you'd never be able to get that done with you'd have to do it with a 0.2 and then it probably still isn't coming out good.
And then it's going to take 3 days because all the changing. Yeah.
But a really cool process on it though. It was pretty fun. It was kind of a review about the laser itself, and its best asset is also its worst asset because it's not an enclosed machine. So if you are around it, without your glasses on, you potentially get some reflection of laser beams and stuff like that. But you can also, the cool part about it being not enclosed is that the head will actually like swivel out, so you can do things that are taller than what will fit on the bed and stuff, and some pretty cool applications for that thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, pretty neat. It was, I figured it was some sort of fiber laser, but he didn't say what it was until now, and so pretty fun project. So. Entertaining for sure. All right, moving on then. We got, speaking of Mr. Hamilton Dillback, there he is. Hamilton, over the last couple of weeks, he's put out a couple of videos about his display stands for like going to craft shows and all that. So I really like this one because he showed some different stands. And I think that the cool part about it really is that if you're going to go to a craft fair or something like that, or you're going to do a craft fair, you're so worried about your products. You're not worried about what it looks like when you're there. which is just as important as, you know, what you're actually making and selling, and can really, you know, bump up how everything looks and stuff for the for viewing it. So this is pretty cool that you can get these files from CNC with me. If you're a member of CNC with me, you get these files, and it's really already taken the guesswork out of it. You know, he already has them set up for the whiskey smokers, but you can, there's also like an empty tray one and all kinds of other stuff, and you can modify it to make it whatever you want it to be. I think that was pretty sweet. I thought it'd be pretty cool. So
Yeah, that and a black tablecloth. It's amazing what a tablecloth at a stand just it changes the whole perception. You know, it's way better than the same fold out plastic table that you use to do all your artwork on. That's all scratched up, painted up.
Yep.
Don't have any experience there.
No, but yeah, I mean, it was cool. It's really nice that you know that these projects are taking the guesswork out of it.
Yeah.
And you can go and concern yourself more with selling stuff than how it looks, because it's going to look good.
I was in the garage painting all day.
You were?
So, oh yeah. I didn't get to watch this one. So are those sections, the middle part, you know, are they sitting halfway in, top and bottom, and it builds up?
On the shelf one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the way that it has like a slot on the back, or it has like a little ledge on the back, and so that the tray or the shelf itself like will just naturally angle down.
Okay. I was just wondering how, like that, if that was a full post or if they're sliding in. I was curious how it all stayed together.
Over the two end pieces, and then they just kind of lock in place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can, when you're done, you pop the shells back off of it and flat pack it out.
Nice.
Yeah. And then like some of the other ones that he had there, like for jewelry or the big X thing is, I guess, intended for like a cutting board or something like that. Some different pieces there. So pretty sweet. It was a good job. I like the direction that he's taken the CNC with me and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. Very enjoyable. All right, we're moving on. Oh, Mr. Clack, Mr. Dave Clack. He's when I saw this the thumbnail, wow, can't think. I'm still fired up about it. Nothing was sponsored in this video. So Dave, what he was making a new sign for his kids band donation for the parking area and stuff like that, because the one that was there was pretty cruddy looking, had seen better days, so he made a new one. He did it a lot different than what I thought he was going to, just by looking at the thumbnail. I thought he was going to be doing some lasering on everything, cut out letters and all that stuff and stick them on there and go. When he actually did a cool process with the lettering on the CNC. So it's all acrylic. So he cut the background out with the laser, and then he did the lettering with the CNC, and he cut them with a 30-degree V-bit. So when you look at the letters actually have more dimension than just being 90-degree sides. They flare out a little bit.
They're like beveled.
Yeah. And I thought that was a really cool way to approach the that project, and he did a good job. So I think it's getting the $5 parking donations properly. So, but I really like the way that he did that with the with the bevel. I thought that was a cool idea. So, good job, Mr. Clackshack. All right, moving on then. The next one we'll do is related to the Clack Shack. So Sunday nights, 8:00, Dave and Steve have do a show for like 2 hours. So if you're not doing anything tomorrow night, tune into them on either of their channels, and you can watch them hang out and talk shop and all that good stuff. Steve Ventari, the channel Ventari, he did luminaries this week for Halloween coming up. Walks you through how to go through Lightburn and create it, and he used MakerBox, I think it was the program that he did the
Maker case.
Luminary Maker case. That's it. To create the vectors for the shape itself, and then made a bunch of different Halloween pumpkins. Pretty awesome. I thought this would be a good idea for. You could sell these in so many different ways, and I thought that was kind of cool. Like you could just sell them in raw wood as a craft project for somebody, or you could finish them really nice. You could even, like, if you did had these at a craft show, you could have a little station set up so that they could paint them while they're there. Parents and kids would go ape shit for that. You would sell 1,000 of those things in a day because every kid's going to want one, and they're going to want to paint them and all that stuff. You'd have to have some table behind you or something like that to be able to stack them all onto, because you're going to have a whole bunch of them sitting there drying. But, especially like if you had like the smaller ones or something like that there, the kid could paint it, and you'd get some like purple dragon pumpkins and stuff like that. You can get all kinds of wacky stuff, but the kids would have a blast with those things. And you sell them for like, what? I don't know. If you did it for like $10 a piece or $15 a piece, man, the parents are going to shell out money to keep their kids busy for 10 minutes, and so that they're not complaining while you're shopping around for whatever knickknacks that you're looking for. So a great idea for that. If you wanted to just sell them, you could really upscale them a lot by just doing it like you give them a little flame treatment to them and then stain them. I mean, they would look really sweet that way. Or you can paint them up and do whatever. But I thought the thought with the kids at the craft show and all that, you'd sell out of them every day.
When I was watching this, how he wanted to make it look like a paper bag.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool. But because he's talking about, I'm going to take the top off and plant it without the top. I was like, no, keep the top on. Do that same design where it's like that. So you can put the top on, and then you can cut out a little stem. So it's like you can close it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another good idea too. Yeah, there's a million different ways you can do it.
Oh yeah,
that'd be awesome. Yeah, I was originally thinking about, there was a show here, a big like, not craft fair, but it's like one of those fall festival type things where you get all the people selling all kinds of wild stuff, and then you get some crafter people there and stuff like that. I was hoping to take a bunch of stuff, make it and take it, but I ran out of time. But I mean, if you took like a week of time, you could knock a ton of these things out, and you could make so much money doing it. It'd be pretty awesome. But Good times. Good video. All right, moving on then. Yeah, so Sunday night, tune in to them and hang out. I'll probably be there for a little while, hanging out in the chat, as I try to do as often as I can. All right, moving on. We got Uncle Jesse. So this is he's printed. So there's this guy. I forget who it is right offhand. He's made these action figures called, I think they're Dummy 13. And it's an action figure basically, or like posable figure. And I guess now it's been in beta up until now. So like now the first official, like, here you go, files have been sent out there, and pretty cool. If you want to use it for drawing, you can, because you can like pose them and get the proportions right on how your thing, what your point of view is, and how stuff is angled and all that is good. But you can also have fun. People, I see these things show up on Facebook all the time, with people doing all kinds of stuff with, like, putting magnets into the hands and all that, so that they'll stick to the refrigerators, and making all kinds of like superhero poses and stuff like that. And what you do is you basically print the armature of the inside, usually in black, and they suggest to do it in a PET G, so it's a little stiffer, so that the joints are stiffer, so it'll hold its pose better. And then you print the outside pieces in whatever colors you want. In the thumbnail, he's the one he's holding's got purple, but there's a pink one there and some other colors. You can mix them up. You can do whatever you want. It's pretty neat. But and the way that you print them out is kind of like on one of those cards. Remember, like the old school models, where everything's like in some sort of frame that everything. Yeah. That's how the guy suggests to print it all out, because it's so many small pieces, it sticks better. And then you just cut them out and put them together and all that. I made the suggestion to Clayton that he do one on as big as possible on the on his Elegoo Orange Storm Giga. Because next week is Printopia, which is last year was the East Coast Rep Rap Fair, which is like 2 hours away from me. So next either Saturday or Sunday, I'll be going to that during the day. And and he was there last year. I think he's supposed to be there this year. So I was like, can you make a giant one and bring it with you? That'd be really cool. And so it'd be kind of neat if he did. But I don't know. He'd have to take that thing on an airplane. I forget where he lives. He actually doesn't. I think he'd be driving down to that, because I don't think he's all that far away. I forget where I think he's up north.
Well, if he made it big enough, he could use a carpool lane.
Yeah, right. That'd be awesome.
Just stick a wig on it, and
we've had people get in trouble for that down here.
No.
They put dummies and somebody put a CPR dummy in the passenger seat, put sunglasses and a hat on it. That'd be awesome. But yeah, good times though. But yeah, I'm gonna print one out, just because they're pretty cool. Been meaning to actually for a while, but I hadn't gotten around to it. But this will probably push me over the edge, and that I need to print one out. So cool times. All right, we got Wild Willow. I think her name's Emily. She did a good video. She has a couple diodes, but now she also has the a big thunder laser too. But she does a lot of engraving for like hats and stuff. I think is where her main business focus is. But she like makes signs and everything else too. But these hat patches that she's doing out of acrylic are awesome. they're using like multicolored layered acrylic and stuff like that. And she like shows you how to do test cards on the different ones, so you can see like how much power will get you what colors and stuff like that out of them. Because I mean, even if it's just red and white, you're going to get different amounts of red and white depending on your power settings and stuff like that. And pretty cool. She's very talented with those. So very, very cool. Good job.
How is she bending them?
She actually does something that's pretty cool. That I've never done hat patches or anything like that, so it's all kind of foreign to me. But the way I've seen people do it is that they just heat up the hat and then put it in the press and squish it down. But what she does is she puts them on a hot plate, like on a piece of silicone, and warms them up a little bit, and then puts them into the hat, and they form the curve that way. But she warns, like, don't leave them on there too long, because then they'll start curling up, and if they curl up the wrong way, they're done for.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So I thought that was a pretty cool tip trick. I think she should have spent more time on that, actually, talking about how to do that, because that's a pretty cool method to use. So. All right. And then we also have the Swedish maker. He did a funny video this week. I like this one. Somebody in a comment of one of his previous videos made something, 3D printers aren't for printing furniture. And he's got like a background, an overlord voice going on about, talking about what he's doing and all that stuff. It's pretty funny, and it was entertaining. But he makes a stool with 3D printing and stuff, and he's sitting on it. But he made I think the downfall to his stool really was the center screw, because he 3D printed that part too. And so when he's sitting on it, you can see him it's rocking and it's kind of moving. It's like, ooh, yeah, that's not going to last all that long. But it worked. It was a stool and a project, but there's probably other ways that he could refine it. But I like the main part of the stool, because that part that he's holding in his hand there is what he put like dowel rods up through to form the legs of the stool. And it was a good use for 3D printing, because it was plenty strong. Plenty strong. So one that I didn't put in here this week, and I should have, because and we've talked about him before, was Super Fast Matt. We've talked about him a couple times. But he talks about why every shop now needs to have a 3D printer. But he was showing some car parts that he was making with his printer. Because he's got like a land speed car and all this and that. So some stuff that you would have to send out to have made, he's making there in house now. But he actually showed the one carbon fiber filament that he made, or the part that he made. It was an adapter from, an intake to a throttle body or something like that. And he actually parked his car on it. It was so strong that he could, he set it vertically so that the hole was here, and he put a couple like pieces of wood up and then parked his car on top of it, or his truck or whatever. I mean, it was withstanding thousands of pounds of pressure. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty strong. So it was pretty neat. But yeah, pretty fun. We got two videos for now for something different this week. The first one is from NFL Films. about Tony Khan just being a national treasure. Anybody that doesn't know who Tony Khan is, he is the son of Shad Khan, who is the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars NFL team. And Tony owns AEW Wrestling. And everybody that knows me knows I love my professional wrestling. So they followed him around for 2 days earlier this year during the NFL draft. And the one night he did he was at the wrestling show for AEW at the place that's like right outside. They have a place called Daly's Place. I guess they do concerts and other events there. It's right outside the Jacksonville Jaguar Stadium. And so they were doing a show there, the wrestling show, and he gets a pile driver. So he basically, the guys, the bad guys, grabbed him around his waist. He's facing down, and you drop him on his head, on his neck. So they dropped him, and so he lived up the gimmick to where he wore around the neck brace during the NFL draft. And so and I was watching the draft during the first round, and they're showing Tony in there in the war room of the Jacksonville Jaguars for their pick and all that. And you see him, he's sitting there with his the neck brace on. I was like, man, he's living the gimmick. It's so awesome. I love this guy. And this video is pretty funny too, because they're talking about they did a few second interview with one of the wrestlers, and her name is Toni Storm, and her character at this point is she's kind of acting like an old school movie star, and so when she's on camera, it's black and white. So NFL Films actually did that section in black and white. It was fantastic. I enjoyed every moment of it. But all the wrestlers, they're showing them behind the scenes and all that in the back of the show as the show is being produced and all that, and some of the wrestlers are like, Tony, how's your neck doing? He's like, oh, I'm surviving. It was fantastic. He's a national treasure. I love it. So if you get a minute and want to appreciate somebody, living the gimmick, you go watch that. And the other thing that I thought was crazy awesome this week was that submarine that imploded last year. I guess they're doing some hearings about it right now, and it's crazy the amount of detail and stuff like that they're going into. But this guy Scott Manley was playing some of the footage that they were showing, and kind of, I guess he figured out, or it's understood what happened to the submarine now, and the way that he explains it's pretty interesting. I guess like this submarine, the hull of it was carbon fiber, and then it had 2 titanium rings on the ends, and then it had like caps on the ends of that. So if you're looking in the thumbnail here, the forward dome is the one that had the window in it, which is the one that you would go out and you'd look at, looking at the Titanic through or whatever. And then the rear dome is just the rear side of it inside the sub or whatever. So what this guy surmises happened is that there was a crack, there's a failure at the front where the front dome or the front ring attached to the carbon fiber. And so what you're seeing here on the rear dome side is 4 people squashed into that somewhere, because he talked about how fast it happened and all that. Like, these people had no clue that it ever happened. Like, they blinked and it was over, like there was no mean, which is kind of, I guess, a good thing to know that there wasn't any going, oh, well, this is gonna suck, and then having it implode on them. It was just a blink of an eye and it was over. But that because he's talking about like how everything is in that rear dome, so all the the pressurized area was in the back of the submarine and everything. So as debris was crushing in, it was going back to that back section, and pretty violently and fast. And they're showing video of the bottom of the sea there, and there's like nothing around that forward ring and stuff like that, and around the rear dome and stuff there's carbon fiber pieces just scattered around and stuff like that. It's pretty wild how that would happen, but what a way.
This is that same one they were using, a Logitech gamepad from 2003.
Yeah. Well, the guy that did the video on this one, he was like, I was fine with that. That they used that. That was fine. There was a lot of other shit they did wrong. I'm more like, I get it. You want to do DIY and stuff like that. But I'm sorry. When you're going that, yeah. No. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, those Logitech gamepads have really bad dead zones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm saying, movement. Not trying to. No puns or anything. That one. I am a gamer. Okay, that's
Paul uses the wrong statement there.
Been up since 3 and going to bed.
Oh, good times. Yeah, really fascinating stuff there to watch and check out. So if you haven't heard anything about that this week or anything, go check it out. So, but yeah, a lot of interesting stuff. But you definitely should go watch the Tony Khan thing if you haven't seen that. He's so awesome. The good times. Well, we've been at it for a little while. Mr. Corliss, you got anything else for us this week?
No, I sure don't.
Right.
I relinquish my leftover time to the other Paul.
No. Where are you at on your Christmas project?
Yeah.
Where am I at? I still have. I have this. I have this. And I've tried to match this to this, but
there we go.
I'm headed in the right direction. I'm done.
There we go. So I had to mute myself for a second so I could ask Siri a question. So there are 68 days until the start of the Gatton Christmas Challenge for 2024. So we're getting close. Maybe next week we can get some news on some of the sponsorships that'll be happening this year. I don't know. I have to actually ask people to be sponsorships. So if anybody's out there that has any connections with anybody that'd like to be a sponsor for the 2024 Gatton Christmas Challenge, please send them my way, and we will get them involved. So, Mr. Hammerquist, anything else from you, sir?
Nah, have a good week. Relax. Have fun.
Good times.
Yeah.
You printing more pumpkins back there? Is that what those are?
Yes.
More pumpkins. Nice.
I think it's
Very
9 sets of 3.
Sweet. Good times.
So anyone want to donate a second printer, this one's getting lonely.
I know a guy that might have an extra one or two.
Nope. No, we can't afford that right now. They're back there working. Just I would just like some connectors at work. That would be awesome. So we'll get them figured out. So hopefully next week we'll have an update on that, and all these light boxes that I've been making can actually have power. It'd be really nice. So, all right, party people. Well, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it, and like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and to everybody's stuff. And hopefully we'll see you next week. Peace out, sauerkraut.
Bye.